you know, things. Okay, so I'm just gonna like repeat the same thing again very briefly. So we've had the break below Asia low, and we've noticed streams paused. No. Go stop streaming. Change windows. Oh, for freaking go live. Okay. Okay. Here's the scene. Okay, we've I've marked that as a Frankfurt low, but we can delete that because this now becomes the Frankfurt low. It's actually the London Open, so Frankfurt low is really here. London Open makes a little pop below Frankie low, so in its own you could call that a setup. I prefer it does more than just that, you know, a milli pip, you know, below, because it's not really a liquidity grab. That, okay, this is borderline. It's, you know, 2 pips, okay. I prefer like 4 pips, but here's the kicker. We've come down, broken Asia low. Probably a lot of people looking for longs. However, we've made this high, this very strong high in NH4 FVG. We've made this supply, broken some structure, come back down, zigzag a little bit. This is a structure level that's holding. Okay, holding price. Then it breaks. Then it breaks the London high. Okay, so very important key level, and fills this FVG, but also very importantly this volume cluster. So I'm gonna just print the screen and just like transpose it on. Give me a second. Volume clusters we're going to be using more and more because they work really well. Yeah, I always tend to use 5 minute, so I don't know if it was clear. But this 160 corresponds to here. And this move up above London high taps this exactly. Okay, so yeah, I understand. Okay. It's actually not important. It's what is important. It's just a little extra piece of confluence. So 160. So I've got this marked out in this supply zone because I'm suspecting short for the day. Okay, I've got a bit of a short bias, which I explained in detail in the morning analysis. Okay, so when we're breaking Asia low, I'm not like ultra excited about longs. What I am doing is marking the London high. We have a breakup into an M5 supply, which happens to have a volume cluster, which is like a mini point of control. Also an M1 FVG, just to add a little bit extra, and then we're short. Okay. Now where are we entering? Now you could just do it on price action on this engulfing candle, and you know when it fills. You could do it immediately, if you're bold. Let's go to the footprint. I actually can't remember how this played out. In fact, if we scroll up, I'm sure I have it somewhere. Bloody hell. There's something. This is actually a little extra thing. I'm just gonna pull this up anyway, but this happened to be the move up. It tapped VWAP. I didn't actually notice this at the time, but when I was going back over things, I noticed that. So I have VWAP on my market profile page, so you can use that if you like. So we've got a lot of confluences, and this was my screen that I shared. Now, which one was the footprint? Now, this was the absorption at the bottom. What time frame we're on? Yeah. Sorry, it's a little bit messy. Yeah, I'm starting to get confused with all these, like, yeah, so we're getting a lot of absorption down here, okay? So it was pushing us back up, and it was continuing here. It's just meaning, like, don't sell just yet, that's it. I'm just trying to pull it up on my MT4 because dragging these pictures around doesn't get me very far. What time is it on the server? 10, 7, 8, 9, 44. 9, 44, 9, 44, 9, 44. Okay, so a bunch of absorption, and then 10, 56. Is it really 1056? 9, 10, 11. I should know. Well, what were we looking at? We're looking at the actual entry. Oh, well, we can ignore the absorption. It's not really relevant. This means, I mean, you could, if you wanted to go long here, you could use that absorption to go long. But because I had a bias, it was kind of preventing me from going long. Plus, I didn't really want to go long into this supply zone. Yeah. The absorption, it kind of reoccurred at each point, so it's kind of like a battle, you know, between here, and it's like which side is gonna win. So for me, I had my key level break, London high, and so I was happy. That's my system, London high. We had H1 M1 FVG, the volume cluster, the very pronounced volume cluster. If we can share my screen again. I am. So what time is the entry? 11. Is it 11:20? Yeah. So fuck off. Right, there's your entry. Yeah, 00. Now I took it aggressive, to be honest with you, because I just saw the engulfing candle and I just went for it. Because it was on, because setup 2 now. Right, well, I've got Podia. I can't show it to you, I don't think, unless you have it pulled up. But setup 2 does not include VCs at the moment, but if you hit a VC, okay, 160 within a supply zone, a strong supply zone, fresh, you can just go for it. You do not need confirmation. Okay, you can just use price action confirmation. So engulfing candle, I just happened to just go for it. But you can see with like slippage and spreads and stuff, if you go back, my entry is actually around here. Now if you want to do it properly, can you see my MT4 or is it trading view? There you go. Lovely imbalance. Yeah, that's it. So that's it, 11:32, and it happens to be a little M1 supply, because yeah, it's borderline supply because it breaks the structure. Okay, so yeah, it comes up, tests, imbalance. There's your entry, and also you notice I said aggressive sellers enter the market. Can't remember why I said that. I think it was these. Yeah, I was seeing these big red orders and I was thinking that's aggressive sellers entering the market. I just wrote that. It's doesn't really mean anything. It's got nothing to do with the system or the entry, but that's your official entry. If you go back, if you go back to my snapshot that I posted on Discord, you'll probably see my entry around here. But that's the official entry. And then your first question was, well, how do I find it? How do I find a take profit? And this is really interesting in this case. Oh shit, sorry. It's bloody Discord. It's to sort itself out. I would have thought it would change screen automatically, but apparently not. So we've established, and you should be really zoomed in. That's your entry. Now, yeah. Mhm. Mhm. Why? I see. Yeah, yeah, yeah. 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 Uh, yeah. I'm just having a look at volumes at the moment on the MT4. I'm on another screen at the moment just to see if I can find some extra evidence for you. Yeah, exactly. If you look at the retest, the volume disappears. I'll send her a screenshot. Hold on. No. I'm gonna just put it on TradingView. Can you still see TradingView? Sorry? Bigger now. Okay, volume's died, so that's, you know, that's 1 minute chart trading for you, and that's how you get the big money, unfortunately. And you need confidence, but that's the safe entry. I took an aggressive entry right on the VC because this is my new setup too. If you have a strong untested supply, you've made a run on liquidity, and strong liquidity to London high. Everyone's got stops above the London high, okay? Because everyone expects London to make the high of the day, so everyone's shorting the hell out of this. Stops are above here. Run on the stops into a volume cluster in M1 FVG, and what do you get? Big run down, high volume, and then a low volume retrace. Okay, virtually nothing. So there's your entry. And what? Let's see if you missed that. Okay, no problem. No problem. You enter here on the structure. Okay. Still low volume. A few ticks later, you could enter on structure. All right. Sorry, that's your real entry. Okay. Aggressive entry. Bam! Right on the VC. Safe entry, low volume retrace into a little order, a little supply. Slash. What did we say this was? Sorry, I'm kind of like losing the plot a little bit. Was it an imbalance? Yeah, it was a 00, wasn't it? So this was a 00 imbalance. Perfect. What more do you need? So you have to be zoomed in at this point. You have to be really sharp. Okay, you can't be just like wishy-washy about it. And yet, so I was live trading from here. Okay, I was confident. But when I was demonstrating, if you noticed, it got stopped out break even when we came out, because for some reason when you demo trade it, even if you open the order here, it opens it down there. All right, so it got stopped out. All right, so I had to find a point to re-entry, which brings me to your second point: finding entries after the move. Okay. So you could have entered here. You've got a structure level. Still, yeah, that's that 13.0 from earlier. So still fine, absolutely fine to enter there. And actually, if you look at the recording, we made a full recording of this whole setup. I re-entered here because we're still low volume. And an extra treat, we have a big FVG here, and this kind of this meandering compression up. You know, you could enter here. Okay, this is a 2 pip stop loss. Okay, you can have a 6 pip stop loss if you want. You know. Yeah, whatever you want. 10 pips. Yeah, you know what? I usually use mental stops of around 3, 4, 5 pips, but I'll judge it in the situation. You know, if I see volume increasing above here, then I'll get out. And even if I'm using 3 pips of risk, and it goes to 6, I'm still low risk on my account. So you don't need 10 pips. 5 pips, 3 pips. You'll get used to it. You'll get a feel for it. So there's plenty of time to get in on this move. So now, very good question. What's your target? And was that number 1 profit target? Yeah. I think that's you. I don't really see. I mean, you could say flip zone. Try and enter there. Is that low volume? What time is it? Yes, that's the rule. Okay. Now this is structure 2. You could enter here. Let's see if there's low volume. What time is it? It's 10:11. So 12:11. What do we have? 12:11. 12:11. Very low volume again. But wait, no, it's kind of medium volume. But 12:12 is fine. 12:12, but you're declining at this point. So if you haven't found an entry by here, you're too late, I think. But you should be sharp and always looking at the key levels. So you add your London high, you add your pop above it, you add a very strong M5 supply with a VC. If you ever have a supply zone, you should be looking for volume clusters within it. And you had this perfect tap of it, and to me that was a gift. It was a gift. It was manna from heaven, or is that the expression? Manna. Manna from heaven. So I just took it dead on, and I showed that in the video. Now a good question you asked. What's the target? Yeah, I have to say, always decide your target before you enter. Otherwise, you're going to just take profit emotionally. You're going to take 10 pips, which is going to destroy your edge. So, rule of thumb, in this case, it's going to be different in every case. I'm going to get rid of this fib. It's a mess. Pivot points. If Frankfurt is and Asia is kind of drifting towards the pivot point, it's 9 times out of 10 it's going to touch it. Okay. If Frankfurt and or the end of Asia and Frankfurt are drifting towards the pivot or moving towards the pivot point, the daily pivot point, 9 times out of 10 it's going to touch it. Okay. So that's why I held there. So I held for the pivot, and that gives you potentially 13R, or if you're 10 pips, you shouldn't be 10 pips really. That's what seems way too much above the daily open. That gives you 4R. 4R is still not bad. Now what's this? Oh, that was our second one. We can very quickly go over this one. After that, I think I'll take off at like 8:30. So we've got 10 minutes. But does that make sense? Holding. Well, you have to consider the daily pivot point as a magnetic level, a bit like a round number. There's a good chance it's going to touch. And also, this was like a kind of distribution. You don't know if it's an accumulation or distribution, but we have a generally bearish order flow. Okay, lower highs, lower lows. You could argue you should know this is a distribution and a UTAD, an upthrust after distribution, into an M5 supply. So that gets us a little 10R, and that should be plenty for the day. Now why did I think that was 20R? What are I used 3. I went straight in with a 3 pip stop loss. I entered dead on the VC, so yeah, that's why it's 18R. I entered dead on, and I didn't get any drawdown. Oh, me neither. Sorry, it's getting to that time in the evening where I'm starting to drift. Yeah, so it was a tough hold. I think I might have cut it around here. You know, there's no reason to, because if I look at you can't see it at the moment, but I'm currently looking at the general chart with the volume on it. So if you look at that as well, yeah, an MT4. If you see on the drop, the volume is building. So the move starts at 11:19 server time, and the volume generally stays quite high during the drop, and it actually increases towards the end, and it climaxes, it crescendos, if you will, towards the pivot. It does come down and makes a London low. Okay. Can you still see my trading view chart? I think I went on a break at this time. I called that London low, and we did, break it and move up, and you could have probably have got some kind of setup here, but was there a trading level here? Well, kind of. I mean, that looks like demand to me. I didn't have it marked up, but maybe you could argue that was demand. Kind of, yeah. It kind of looks like demand, but yeah, it's hindsight bias, because I didn't take this trade. So there's trades everywhere every day. So we have a New York low marked out, and I come back to the screen. Well, actually, I'm speaking with people. I was gonna do a webinar, but I got distracted with I did some different conversations that I needed to settle. So I got back to the screen and I noticed about 3 o'clock. We were gonna start the webinar at what, 2:30? Yeah, 2:30. So it's running up, and I think we shorted here because of this daily open. Yeah, I think we took this short. and it went quite far. It went 30 pips, and yeah, I did not take profit on that. So in hindsight, I can't say. I think. Yeah. Structure. You know, all these sides. You always have to be thinking about structure, support and resistance. That's a very good reason to get out. And from memory, this is just memory. I don't think I let it run to break even. I think I saw what was going on and took a handful of pips, like 3 or 4 or 5 pips or something. Okay, but I was then more interested in this little situation, which I believed to be a kind of a mini Wyckoff distribution. And what did we have here? Supply. Big supply. Okay. Big move down. Break a structure. Okay. So whatever you want to call it, M5, M15 supply. What happens? You need yeah, M15 supply. Very clear. You know, big leg out, break a structure. Okay. So you should have that marked up. Wow. So we're accumulating, distributing, whatever you want to call it, and then we had this little up thrust after distribution. The classic liquidity grab above equal highs, and then we went short afterwards because we're on supply. I guess that would be in my books a setup too, and we can go back and see if there's any volume clusters on this supply. I wonder, I'm curious. Around here about 6:46, so it would be server time 8:45 say. So I'll go and do the work here. Hold on. 8:45, beautiful. So 9 o'clock it has it, and you know, sure enough, it does kind of run above it, but it's still a supply, and it's still, you know, right, I don't know if you can see my screen, but brand new. Okay, hold on. So I'm gonna draw 2 images. M5 always. That's just what I've used. So here. Okay. Oh, you could. Yeah, you could. I'm looking on the volume chart. So here. And then what happens is give me a second. Print screen. that corresponds to there. So yeah, you get your little UTAD. You get a nice pin bar reaction. Okay, pin bars. So perfect price action confirmation. Now what were we getting in? Now this is a very rapid move down. This is I'd be looking for confirmation one, what I call confirmation one here, because you almost have like no times it 315, so it's 16, 17 on the footprint. Let's see, what was it? 1730. Pardon me? Yeah. So yeah, okay. I'll print that. Does this help us, or do we have to just go on blind faith? Oh shit. Hold on. And now you have a bearish imbalance. Bearish imbalance. Bearish imbalance. Bearish imbalance. I mean, you have several bearish imbalances that you could enter on. Say there. Because it was a UTAD and it had a pin bar reaction, I just read the tape, as it were, and just entered on the pin bar. You know, others might not have the confidence to do that at that time of day, but I was looking for the reversal because of the bearish order flow. And generally, setup 3 is, you know, variant 2 on setup 3 is I'm looking for a sharp move away from the order flow of the day, and a tight reversal. You have a few opportunities to get in. And the one I see is here, 8-0, and then this green candle moving up. So it's right here. Can you see it? I think it wait. It's yeah, it's the only pullback. So 1746. So that's your guy. That's your guy. Well, the thing is, you can get a very tight stop loss in that because it's an imbalance and it's not gone that far. Is it? I understand that. Well, you could have waited, I guess, for the turnaround. If you see it pin off, and then go bearish, you could have entered and then placed your stop above there. Yeah, a few ways to do it. I mean, I'm aggressive. I entered like right on here, and placed. Well, Yeah, exactly. I mean, price action wise, fresh supply, up thrust after distribution, rapid fall. I mean, you know, where could you've got in on? Let's say this candle drops, closes. This one tests this imbalance. You could have got in there, or you could have got in here, or and the bloody thing drops. Like what target are you gonna choose? Again, it could be the pivot. 50 pips, 60 pips. I would have chosen the pivot personally, and that's where we ended it. So yeah, that's it. I mean, it wasn't like a stellar day, but you could have picked up 100 pips there, I think. 40 pips, 60 pips, say, if you executed perfectly. Yeah, that's it. That's the day. So I think I'm gonna end it here. I think like we've been talking for an hour, so I'm getting like parched, and I've got a few other things to do. So is that enough? Yeah. Mostly, it recorded from the last like half hour. So yeah. All right. Hope you found that helpful. And it gave you a little like insight into the pivot. Look at the pivot. It's yeah. You gotta love the pivot, and that rule of thumb. Always remember that rule of thumb. If Frankfurt's kind of opening above the pivot and it's moving down pre-London, it's probably gonna touch the pivot. So you can use that. You've got your break above key level into supply volume cluster. I take it aggressive as a setup too. Straight down to the pivot, easy 18R. And then this one was a good trade too. So that's you. All right. Well, I'll catch up with you soon, bud. I'll maybe post this to the group if you don't mind, and maybe they'll see something from it. Your voice actually won't appear, so it'll be completely anonymous. All right. Well, yeah, I will see you bright and early. Cheers. All right, bye.